everyone! How are you doing on this glorious Tuesday? I hope it's absolutely fantastic. Oh my God, look at that! Roll together. Welcome, welcome,
Welcome, everybody.
welcome. That is so exciting. Hello. Welcome to Planar to Allies. I hope you are all doing absolutely fantastic. And we are doing super fantastic. Hi, Clunch. Hi, Pixie. Hi, Chris.
Lunch is here?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah. No, that always makes for a fabulous time to chat. So yes, today we're going to be finally exploring a bit of the country of the Lich Queen, Kielnasi. Oh yes, we're gonna see what's going on behind enemy lines. Last week, well, why don't you tell me what happened last week? Hey, Diraxis, what happened?
Yeah, so we basically went on this giant ship that was comprised entirely of a giant mimic. That was an interesting experience. I mean, what I had experienced before, but it had never been on it quite that long. All the furniture was mimics. There was in our quarters some cheeky chests that were mimics.
That's right. That's right. Oops, all mimics.
Yeah, oops.
Yeah.
Oopsie. Then we landed ashore on Non-Kid, and we came across this really pissed off, like, floating skull guy that was really angry, and we almost died.
Yeah, absolutely. You did.
But I'll pass it over to Reginald, because I was passed out for most of that, honestly.
That's right.
I didn't faint. I got
fast.
absolutely stomped on.
Yeah, you kind of died.
Yeah, I was like pretty close to being dead.
Absolutely, you were.
Yeah, I mean, he said it pretty much. We got on the boat. We did some fantastic stuff. We hung out with the pirates, sang some shanties. It was great. I broke down and started seeing ghost people and ghost pirates on the ship.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
You
and
sure did.
Then we land, we make ground, and just a very angry skull starts attacking us. Draxus died, as he said. Kind of got back up, teleported, and then hit me with a fireball. So fun stuff.
I love it. I love it. What about Zach? What happened to Zach last week?
I got to cook with a ghost on a strange ship that had a large mouth at the front of it. I made two awesome new friends. And then we fought this giant skull thing that I went absolutely ham on. And Drax fell down like a sack of spuds and slept throughout most of that fight and looked like a rock as well for some reason. Mm-hmm. And then once we defeated the giant skull thing, some pretty little talking lights came out of nowhere and started having conversations and dancing with each other. I'm not quite sure what that was, but it was interesting. And then Drax got up as if nothing had happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Because for him, nothing had happened.
Yeah, I like sleeping through fights. It's my thing.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's super fun. I feel like Diraxis has definitely done that more than once.
Oh, it's like a running gag that's mostly what he does. Honestly.
Well, I think one of these days the super squishy guy is gonna have to recognize that he shouldn't immediately do like terrifying things. Like
he was pretty mean.
Yeah, don't make himself the number one target
Initially,
right out of the gate.
Yeah. He's just trying to be helpful, guys.
No, I absolutely get it. I feel like last week what you did was you just gave cover to Zach, who turned out to be just the most horrific monster that any of us have ever seen.
He's just awesome.
He was the monster that we needed. Desperately.
Absolutely. That was absolutely true. Well, hey, everybody. I would like to run through our sponsors super, super quick. We're not going to do like the full regular thing that we normally do, but I'd like to mention them. We are sponsored by the fabulous Hero Forge, by Souls Rolls, by Gemmed Firefly, by Realm Warp Media, by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, and by D&D Beyond. And you can check all of them out in the About section just below. We adore all of them. We highly recommend all of them. And of course, if you hit !raffle, you can win a set of Phoenix Dice. So that is delightful. And when you win Phoenix Dice, you can pick any set that you want. There's not a specific set. It's literally anything on their entire website you can choose if you win. So that's delightful. And I would like to say, today, if we make it there, which I'm assuming we will, I feel like the players are going to need some extra help. So,
Oh God.
So remember,
Yikes.
you are part of this adventure too. In chat, you have so many ways to involve yourself. There's all kinds of ally points. See, we already have a fabulous advantage. Thank you very much, Clutch. There's for Diraxis so that he doesn't go down in round 1 again.
That's fair, you know.
We don't appreciate
Absolutely. There's ally points are a great way to contribute. We also have in the About section all kinds of different ways to contribute when it comes to bits, when it comes to subs, and hype trains are super huge. If we can get a hype train going, not only does that actually now really help push us up in the rankings on Twitch and help to give our channel more exposure, it also helps the players do amazing things today. So please consider subbing or throwing some bits or cheering or tipping, all of that kind of stuff. Thank you, Pixie.
Yo.
That is glorious. You are fabulous.
4 months.
Over
Look at
4
you.
months.
I think that's 2 subs now too
Happy.
today.
Yeah, I got it.
So that makes me happy. So we've got 2 just by subbing.
I have a whole
They
notebook.
now have 2 legendary resistances. It's true. Huzzah. So, hey everybody, who wants to play some D&D?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm ready.
Vote me.
Let's set the scene. The Death Tyrant felled, shattered into bits. One of your own harmed by the explosion. Obviously not by the fire itself, but from the shrapnel, as we explained several times last week. Oh my God, thank you so much, Wizard Magic, for the 5 Unity subs. That means everybody gets to roll on the Wheel of Chaos.
We need one more for a hype train. We need one more for a hype train.
One more. We can get this hype train going. Let's do it.
Hype train! Where's the whistle?
Well, it's not a hype train quite yet.
Okay.
It's the reward for the hype train. Yeah, we got it. We're here.
As
It's
it was
always-
destroyed, everything changed. Because our players had harmed it with visions of the ways that it had been tortured before, it gave birth to a nightmare. The sister of the Florid, a beholder of flowers and life. The Illuminati was born, a beholder of pure light and energy. She left our players to head back to Delver's Dream to be with her sister. We now have 2 beautiful monsters creating paradise in Delver's Dream. And as our players wondered, where will we camp? They watched as the ship that they had journeyed here on started stepping onto the land, as the ship itself was a giant mimic. The mimic reformed itself into a huge lighthouse, ready to be occupied by these, the invading forces, and setting up a beacon to help guide the rest of the ships, the armada who were on their way to the shores of Nonked to begin the invasion, to destroy the horrors of the Lich Queen, Kilnasi. Now, tell me, what would you like to do?
Really, 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 really hungry, and could do with a good old sit down.
Yeah, absolutely.
As this mimic seems to have presented a house for us, I want to take full advantage of it and go do some cooking. Drax, Reggie, do you fancy coming along?
Yes, let's do a little rest before we set off on this looks like a perilous journey. So
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm not super eager to go in the swamp quite yet.
All right.
Going to walk inside the house.
Fabulous.
Gonna rub the door frame and go, thank you very much.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
You really wanted that blessed, didn't you? You
I did.
Really
I was
did.
like, oh, okay. To make sure I wanted to blow the whistle.
There you go.
Oh,
Nice.
come on.
Get it.
Hey.
Get it.
Yay. So, what we get for, is there a command? Is there a command to show the hype train rewards?
The hype train rewards? I don't believe I ever made one, but I'll add to my list so we have that.
Fabulous. So I know hype train level 1. Thank you for the bit, Snowflake Boy. Hype train level 1. They get blessed in the first combat, which lasts the entire combat. Thank you for the follow, Scarlet High. Oh, Pixie, thank you so much. Oh, we just hit level 2. Yay! I love it. That's so
Inspiration.
fabulous. Thank you so much. That's right. Everybody gets inspiration now. That is delightful. And because we got the 5 subs earlier, I think we should now roll my favorite thing, which is the Wheel of Chaos. So, hey, Diraxis, why don't you go first? Roll me up on the wheel. Let's see what you get. Let's see what you get on the Wheel of Chaos.
Oh, I spelled it wrong because I'm dummy.
You did. You did.
Nice.
It's Chas.
Oh my God, Snowflake.
Holy cow!
Snowflake coming in hot.
How many is that?
Holy
Snowflake.
That's 10 gifties.
That's
Whoa.
crazy. Thank you so much. That's amazing.
We're at 17.
There.
Oh, an artifact evolves, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Oh my God.
I want to know. So, what
Oh,
level is your
dude.
artifact right now, Mike?
1. It's just the base item you
And
gave me.
what is it?
You said it was the book, the legendary book.
I need
I
you to
don't
know.
know
What you're carrying, Russ. It's not going to be yours today because you can't explain to me what you're
No,
carrying.
I can. I just don't know if you want me to tell everybody what it is out loud because. Okay, fine.
I mean, we can.
The tone
we
with
can
the still tongued.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's. Oh wait, no. Okay, so that. No. That one doesn't evolve this way. That's a different.
So I don't have
Yeah.
one then.
Okay. All right. I've got things. I've got things for you. There's Lando. Which one is yours?
The Hands of Chaos. It currently,
Oh my
holy
God,
shit!
Snowflake!
What did you do?
Mad lad.
What is happening?
Absolute mad lad.
Absolute-
What is
Hold on.
going
Absolute
on?
mad
We missed some whistles.
We're at level 5 already? What is happening?
No, we're at level 4. We're about
level
to hit
4.
level 5. We're
Oh
about to hit
God.
level 5,
You
which
guys are
means
crazy.
that so everybody got inspiration, and now everybody has heroism for the whole game. So that's fabulous. And what is 1,000? So what does 1,000 bits get us, Lando?
Combo move.
Oh, hell yeah. We get a combo move. Nice. That is delightful. Okay, cool. So, Lando, you, first of all, you will get 6 inspirations.
Yes,
So-
I am mega inspired. Hold on, I'll be right back.
It's actually another wheel roll for 1,000.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, fabulous. I love that. Okay, cool. So Snowflake, let me know who you want to give a second roll of the wheel to. It can be me if you want.
Or it can be your favorite, whoever that is.
That's right.
Wink.
Reginald, roll me on the wheel of chaos.
Chaos.
I'm
Weird
excited.
cows.
You get 5 key points.
Nice.
I love that for a mage.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, you can do it. You can find it. Find ways to empower your
I
fabulous
like it.
selves with key
I like
points.
it. Oh, he wants it for the
Absolutely.
wizard.
Oh, all right, Reginald. Roll me a second one. Let's see what you get this time.
Get more chaos.
Let's see. You get more key points. You get 3 more key points. All right,
Yes.
fabulous.
That's what I needed.
Nice.
9 key points.
Hey, Zach. Roll me on the wheel of. This is your first one, isn't it?
It is. Let me roll.
Oh my god. All right, let's see what you get. So you can have 3 inspirations because it's your first one on our channel. I will give you advantage, so you can try it again and you can pick the one that you want.
Okay, I will roll again then.
Oh my god, thank you again, Snowflake. That's amazing. Snowflake is definitely our VIP today.
It's not letting me do it because I have to wait 30 seconds. So let's just
yes,
chat
no,
about
that's fine.
something.
So I'll do mine. Let's see what the DM gets. Shall we? I get key points too. I get 6 key points. Fabulous. I'm gonna ruin your life with my key points.
I
Let's
get
see
there
if I can-
first.
Hey, I rolled.
Oh shit! 6
it?
legendary actions.
Dang.
No shot, dude. That is.
That's crazy!
How is
think-
you do anything?
3 inspirations or 6 legendary actions. Ooh,
So we
legendary
had
actions,
we had
please.
3 people roll max power.
Right. Oh my
Holy
god!
Oh
another
my
one.
goodness.
Lando, I'm gonna need you to pull out your notebook because. All right,
Well,
first.
it's already all written down. I
Oh my god, we got to level 5. That's crazy.
Do you see
That's
level
crazy.
5 I train emotes? What? It's a little pigeon. I love it
yeah.
so much. Protected
Thank you
forever.
for allowing us to ensue this chaos.
Right? This
Man.
is amazing.
Wait, so everybody rolls again? What?
So first, I need you, Mike, to roll this one.
Okay. Let's see what I get.
How
More
do-
key points.
More key points?
You have
How?
more key points.
Can
Okay,
I use
love
key
it.
points to roll again?
Look at
No,
the
I'm
sad
sorry.
pigeon.
Since you get 3 rolls anyway, no, you're gonna love your key points. You're
Okay,
gonna do
I
it.
do.
Lando, roll me on the wheel of chaos. Oh my god! You
Another
you get
inspiration. That's 7 total.
Zach,
Zach, more legendary actions. Let's just do
yes,
You're-
more legendary actions would
Yeah,
do
I
me
mean, how-
fantastically.
Oh my god! There is, okay, you get an extra inspiration. And let's see, I get, 2 meta magic points. That's delightful. 2 sorcery points. So I've got some key points and I've got some meta magic. I like it. And finally, Mike, give it one last roll. This is your last.
Oh, I got another
roll
one
on here. Well, this will be 3 for you, right?
No. I've already had 3. I got 6, 2, and then 1.
Oh, okay, fabulous. Yeah. All right, cool. Then there is that. So we've got that. How long
do these stay around for?
Do what?
Game.
There is with these, it is for Wheel of Chaos. You have to use them in that session where they disappear. But you can hold up to 3 inspirations on your character sheet for as long as you want. But anything over 3 disappears at the end of the session.
Okay, so I can keep 3 legendary actions then, but the rest will disappear.
Cannot. 3 inspirations.
Absolutely. No.
Oh, just inspirations.
Yeah,
okay, no, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yes, all right. Okay,
Just like
now
banking
that
legendary resist or legendary action.
Now that we have done the insanity of that hype train, which thank you so much. That's incredible. Let's look at what we're doing. So Zach, you were telling me a little earlier that you want to head inside.
But you forgot about that. Yes, I would like to head inside, and I'm going to see what the arrangement is inside this newly formed mimic house, and I would like to locate the kitchen. Before I walk into the kitchen, I'm just going to check to see if there's any ghosts in there. I'm not seeing any ghosts. I'm going to walk in, and I'm going to start getting stuff out and ready to cook. If the drunk chef who's normally in the cupboard is there, I'm just going to ignore him, and I'm just going to carry on cooking. And I'm just going to get a nice whiff of cooking going out the door, so it sort of draws Drax and Reggie in.
Absolutely. I love it. So as you step inside, you notice that things are still shifting and changing. Everything is still just being newly formed, as the mimic is not really used to what's happening right now. It's used to being a ship. It is not used to being a lighthouse. So you notice that, like, on the outside of it, there's definitely like sections that still look like wooden planks, and it's sort of like turning itself slowly into it. You see that there is, you can tell that this mimic likes the finer things. There's definitely a lot going on with like grand staircases. There's in fact a couple grand staircases that just don't go anywhere. Like they just sort of like lead up to a platform that with no door attached, so that you can just like go up there and then present yourself to people. As you step into the kitchen, you can tell that the mimic is really enjoying being on land, because it doesn't have to have things that are locked away because it's not swaying. So you see like everything is sort of emerging out of the ground as these really well sculpted, beautiful pieces, the tables, the chairs, the cabinets, all of that. Once you get into the kitchen, what do you want to get going?
Sorry, real quick to interrupt, just before we forget and before it gets far. We did hit a level 5 hype train, which does mean that we instantly roll for the raffle.
We give away dice.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Hey, everybody. So you get to, because of all of that help with the hype train, you get a second dice giveaway today.
And you have a really good chance of winning, because there is only 4 people entered in to win right now.
Enter in right now.
Everybody hit ! Raffle to win a set of fabulous Phoenix dice. Yay! I'm gonna give that a couple of minutes.
Yeah, we can
And,
circle back around, but I just wanted to remind us. That
absolutely.
That's a
Thank
thing.
you for that.
Mm-hmm.
So we got, all right, so what we got is we got Bless for the first combat, Inspiration, Heroism for the whole session. Level 4 is...
helpful NPC.
Oh, you get a helpful NPC there.
Yeah.
That's the mimic, isn't it?
No, I mean,
Right.
another.
I feel like
We get
that's
another
the mimic.
one, actually.
There is, well, I think you'll find something interesting.
Yeah.
You'll find something new and exciting happening.
We trust you, Kyle. To
Don't.
I mean, not
I'll
to
ruin
not
your
kill
life.
us,
Don't
but to at least
trust
make a
us?
good story.
That's right.
Can I use the mimic as a helpful NPC in the sort of way that they do in Star Trek, where I walk up to a cupboard, say what I want, and it just opens up and it's there?
Yes.
I'd like a chicken to cook, please.
So now, the lovely thing about mimics is if you actually read into mimic lore, as a mimic gets bigger and bigger and bigger, they actually gain more and more intelligence. So the mimic can absolutely understand you. And now that you have, essentially made friends with it by hanging out in the kitchen and feeding it leftovers and stuff like that, it will respond to your voice now. It's one of the reasons that the chef was able to just be wasted all the time is because it could just tell the mimic what to make.
That's awesome.
Friend. So yeah, I'll ask for a chicken, and as it gives me a chicken, and I start cooking things up, I'll get some fruit out of the stock, out of the storage cupboard and everything, and I'll start cooking it all up. I'm going to make a nice chicken salad, Cajun chicken, spicy chicken, all that.
Ooh,
different
nice.
variations depending on the people. And every time I get a little bit of extra stuff, I just drop it on the floor for the mimic.
Absolutely. You actually hear it's this it sounds sort of like an earthquake initially. And it sounds like womp, 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 womp. And you realize that it's the mimic attempting to purr, but because it's so big, it's not it's womp, 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 womp. So
yeah, I'm gonna sort of stroke the counter that I'm working on because it's part of the mimic. I'm just gonna stroke it like I would a cat. There we go. Thank you very much. And I'm just going to cut some stuff up, drop some more bits on the floor for it, and I'm going to plate up a large bowl of food for the crew, the surviving crew, and then individual meals for the three of us.
Yes,
based
absolutely.
on what they would have told, based on what Drax and Reggie would have told me that they like to eat during the 10 days that we've been together.
Yeah. So what did you? Hey, Diraxis, what did you tell Zach that you love to eat?
I'm gonna give Diraxis my favorite kind of thing, their favorite kind of chicken, because it just makes sense. Diraxis is gonna have a hot buffalo chicken sandwich with crispy chicken.
All right, so because we do not have buffaloes in this world, but we do have a creature that we created months ago,
buffalo
called
sauce,
a plated wallet.
Like the hot sauce.
Yeah. So I feel like you don't understand what I'm about to tell you.
Okay, probably not.
So there is no such thing as a buffalo in this world.
Yeah.
No one has ever seen that. So it's not buffalo sauce. But we do have an animal that is pretty similar called a plated wallet. So this will be wallet sauce.
Perfect.
So, which is very spicy, in direct contradiction to the very gentle demeanor of plated wallets.
It comes out of wallet jarsai.
Oh my god. Go away, you dead. You died.
You died. You fell off the tower.
Yeah, you did. You did. It was very sad. We all cried. We stole your stuff, and now we're moving on. Roll up your character, please. Absolutely. So, you are currently creating, like, one thing is, you have found a little bit of bread. It is not very fresh, though. So this might be very interesting to make that kind of sandwich. What about you, Reginald? What's your favorite?
I think Reginald is, in his travels, has gotten very accustomed to having exotic foods. And so, what Reginald describes to Zach is something chock full of zest and spices and flavor, because he just, basic foods just by themselves, he can't eat it. It doesn't taste like anything to him.
No.
So just give me the most flavor you can ever pack.
So what is the thing that you want, that you have discussed with Zach?
I think what Reginald describes to Zach is very much like a chicken pasta with different sauces and seasonings, and a little garnish of basil on top. But
I'm gonna need you to get just a slightly more specific. What kind of sauces and seasonings are we talking here?
Different crushed up herbs and flowers of various aromatics, like something like
Fire
parsley,
flower?
garlic, and fire flower.
Ooh, you can absolutely make a fire flower sauce. Like this, I don't know that they would have any fire flower seeds on the pirate ship, as they are combustible.
I would probably have some on me. I have a herbalism kit that's probably got loads of different types of herbs in that I use for cooking.
Well,
you got the
so
fancy version.
Fire flowers are incredibly rare.
Yeah, they're
then I wouldn't have one.
Yeah.
Then no.
Now, we do have them in the greenhouse at Delver Stream because one of the characters cultivated them. But as you have not yet been to Delver's, you probably would not have that. So, but there are absolutely other things. So you have a fabulously spicy and herbal sauce with your glorious, glorious pasta. Absolutely. And
What
tell me,
kind of
Zach, what are you
pasta?
making for yourself? Pull it together, please.
I make myself a grilled sweet and sour chicken with rice. I've got a few peppers and mango pieces in there with some various other sweeter herbs in there as well. Mm-hmm. And the rice isn't your typical bland rice. It's like a brown rice.
Oh, very nice.
Whole meal
very
type
nice.
rice.
long grain.
So as you are making all of this, and the giant mimic is just sort of shivering with pleasure, you look outside. The mimic has created essentially like barred windows on the first floor, and you have, as you have sort of looked around the space, what you realize is like sort of the bottom floor is a very well defended, like barred windows, barred doors, things like that, communal space. So there's like a giant dining room, there's the big kitchen, there is spaces to just hang out and do all that kind of stuff. And then upstairs is all sort of like second level is like offices and things like that. And then every level above it is bedrooms for various people. You start hearing all these people come running to the balcony and being like, "What are you doing down there? The whole room is shaking up here. What the hell is happening?"
Don't worry about it. Just go about your business. The mimic is happy. There's some food coming up to you in a minute.
Too. Smells weird. Where's the beef jerky?
I've cooked chicken tonight. It's coming up in a moment. The chef your normal cook he's drunk somewhere. I could have sworn I stepped over him a minute ago, but I don't know. But there's food coming up.
Absolutely. As you are doing this, you start looking around the room and you see all of these sort of weird looking containers starting to grow. And they're filled with this sort of greenish liquid. And as you watch, you see a zombie just suddenly appear in one of them and start dissolving. And then a zombie appear in another one and start dissolving. And tell me, Reginald, where are you right now in the mimic?
When I walked in after Zach, and I sat down at one of the dining tables, and I started I rubbed ointment on my burn, and I started wrapping it. So I'm sitting at one of the dining tables, watching him do his work.
Fabulous. There's, I'm assuming, taking notes on everything that he's creating.
On one part of the table, he has his spell book. On the other part of the table, he has the book he's been working on. And he just, as soon as he sees anything shift or move, he takes a break and then starts sketching and taking notes and writing about it.
I love it. And what about you, Duraxis?
Duraxis is arms deep in this sandwich, and it's a big sandwich, and it's got all these sauces, and he's just like, oh yes, oh
yeah.
And then like when he sees the zombies, it's like, and then, like the sauce is like dripping down his arms to like his elbows. He's just like,
just joy.
Just
joy. It's just joy. Before we go any further, hey, let's give some dice away.
Let's do it. All right.
It's time.
Go.
We're gonna close it up.
All right.
I hope everybody's had a chance to enter the raffle. There will be a second raffle.
There will be, and you will not
end.
have to enter again. It's the same list, so all good. Okay,
so let's see who wins. Who wins? Oh my God, who's gonna win? Who's gonna win?
And the winner is Carrie H. Author.
Yay, Carrie! Nice. Fabulous. Hey, Carrie, send me a note, either here or in Discord. Send me a whisper here, send me a note in Discord, and I will hook you up with some fabulous dice. Yay! Now, you start hearing people sort of like screaming up at the top throughout this fabulous mimic. And you see Dapple Dreary Sauce, the queen of the pirates, come running out to the landing. Like, what the hell did you all do? Why are there zombies showing up everywhere?
I thought that might have been the mimic eating zombies outside. I hadn't looked out there since we defeated that big skull thing.
Well, shit. Let's see. Okay. All right. And you see Dapple go running down the stairs as fast as she can to the front doors. Do any of you follow her?
Yeah, but Duraxis is taking a sandwich.
I'll go.
I'm also taking my bowl of food.
It's like dripping on his clothes and like on the steps and everything. But he doesn't care. He's trying to eat as much of it as he can before he gets out.
There's literally like a trail of wallet sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his cheeks are kind of stuffed. He's like,
I've got a bowl in one hand.
He hasn't eaten this good in a long time.
I've got a bowl in one hand, and as I begin to run, I just sort of throw a large towel into Drax's face so he can clean himself up, and I just carry on running down the hall.
I am going to need Duraxis to... without warning, there is now a towel in your face. What happens?
Duraxis is going to slip on the wallet sauce, and like I mean, assuming he's going down the stairs, he's going to be like sliding, like not sliding, but like slipping down the stairs while trying to like keep his sandwich in his hand. And let's see how he does if he. Oh, 1 sec. Let's do. So He gets about 7 steps down, and there's just too much sauce, and he just slips and falls on his back, and is now just like sliding down the stairs on this slip and slide of sauce.
As he slips and he thinks he's going to fall on the stairs. He lands on something cold and hard, and as you look down, there's a sword, this large great sword you've landed on, and it is now carrying you down the stairs.
Duraxis can't see anything because the towel's there. He's trying to like lift it up.
Yeah.
And he is screaming because he thinks he is falling, and
you're being attacked. Everything is terrible.
Everything is terrible. He's being a wee bit dramatic.
And Zach is uncontrollably giggling. Zach is uncontrollably giggling to himself as he's running down running ahead.
Right. Red
Yay.
moves past him, and he's just like, "What is wrong with him?" As he's like running down the stairs.
That was funny.
Absolutely. As you begin to get to the front door, you all look outside and you see what looks like several hundred zombies just appearing, heading towards this thing.
Is that it?
And you watch as the pseudopods from this mimic just reach out, and this thing is so big that it can reach out like 1,000 feet to just snap up a zombie. And for each zombie, it creates a new sort of stomach sac full of acid. And you see these sort of popping up all over itself. It only takes maybe like 30 seconds for a zombie to dissolve in this acid. Like, it is incredibly powerful. But you realize that you essentially have a safe zone around this mimic. And as you watch, the mimic has already consumed, probably just in the last few minutes, has probably consumed 100 zombies. And you watched as it does so, that like an extra story gets added to the mimic as it gets bigger, and you see it starting to slowly sort of expand and get wider.
This thing eventually become a planet if we keep feeding it undead.
I'm not sure, but I wouldn't want to test it personally.
No. Do you, and I'll gesture this question towards the captain, but also to the mimic as well, because I feel that I can speak mimic. I probably can't, but I feel that I can. Will you get full from eating all of these zombies?
As you say that, you watch as what looks like an entire floor from like towards the top of the lighthouse just detaches itself, crawls out, and becomes another mimic.
That's terrifying. Great. Another thing to have nightmares about.
Yeah, would you be able to? Could you maybe pop out a smaller one that I can keep as like a pet?
Fair question.
I mean, a friend, a companion, please.
Yeah, there's. It looks at you, and you see a section of it close to you sort of begin to shape itself and reshape itself in different colors. And it looks like it is trying to like communicate in your language. It's going to take a little more time spent with it for you to really understand it and to help it begin communicating effectively with you. But Dapple looks at you and says, "Oh, well, that's interesting." It says that that's what that one's for.
Oh. Thank you very much. I appreciate that greatly. If I will give you all of the food you want once you've finished consuming the zombies.
Yeah. So you see this thing that is about like 20 feet wide and about 20 feet long, grow like 100 little feet and just start like coming over to you. What colors are you wearing right now, Zach?
I don't love that.
The main color that I'm wearing is brown for the leathers and cloaks type thing that I'm wearing. The most prominent color is probably the purple on the inlay of my cloak, and the green. I have tribal tattoos that are emerald green on my body.
Okay. You see that along the sides, as it gets closer, you start seeing tattoos very much like yours in this bright emerald green start appearing on the sides of this thing. It trundles over to you, and just sort of like you can see a couple of eyes just appear on the front of it, and it opens its mouth, just sort of waiting.
I will put the rest of my food in its mouth, not with the bowl, but just I'll sort of tip the rest of my food in there.
Fabulous. There is, as you do, it is so because this is a smaller mimic. It's not as intelligent as its mom. So it, as you put the bowl out, it just like grabs the whole bowl and just eats the whole thing.
We can iron that out at some point. But hello there, and I'm just going to pet the top of what I would assume would be his head, just between where his eyes are.
Sure. And as you do that, it starts to grow fur in that area, so that it can feel the pets better.
You said this is like a 20-foot by 20-foot thing, like.
Yeah, as you get closer to it, it begins sort of shaping itself into something more akin to like a carriage type thing.
What's up with you guys in becoming fathers? Honestly, like.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a friend.
Yeah, I was going to say, I see it more as making a new companion.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah. Don't try to steal my thing.
Listen, Drax, I don't think anybody wants to steal your thing. Your thing is pretty weird.
Yeah, definitely not.
It is. But it's all I have.
Oh, that's very sad.
I tend to just adopt people as brothers and sisters. That's normally my thing.
Oh.
Nice. I like
Yeah.
Not have any family of your own?
No. Unfortunately not, no. Any family that I do have is family that I've adopted. Family that I've found along the way. Found family, you might call it.
Well, I'm in the same boat. All my people are pretty much assholes, so...
We're actually in a house at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's not a boat anymore. Did you miss that?
Oh, I missed it. Yeah, I missed that.
It's okay, Daraxis. We know.
Yeah.
No, honestly.
I'm just trying to figure out this zombie thing. Does it look like there? I mean, obviously there's more zombies that are coming, but does it look like the numbers are kind of staying steady? Does it look like they're diminishing in terms of what's gathered out, like on the ground? Does it look like it's building up?
You from here you can't really tell.
Okay.
You either have to go like to the top of the lighthouse and really sort of like check things out, or
Gotcha.
you would need to like go and actually explore the countryside.
Okay. So
As you stand there,
Yeah.
sort of agog at what's happening, there's you notice that the mimic itself, the large mimic, is you see a dock beginning to grow out of the side of the mimic, and it's quite interesting because as things like you you now see, because this mimic is very intelligent, you see it looks like it is absorbing like shellfish and things from the bottom and pulling them up and putting them on top of the dock, which convinces gulls to come and land there to try to grab them, and then it eats the gulls. So there's...
You're eating everything, aren't you? I mean, zombies, seagulls, shellfish.
Yeah. I'd say we're, fairly safe for now.
Plenty of time for us to get some sort of a rest before we have to push forward.
If
However,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was just going to say, however, when we leave, I think we are going to have to push through this horde.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt. I was gonna say if we actually like cared about this area right now, I'd say be like this mimic's gonna devastate the ecosystem. But since there's just like untold amount of zombies running around, I think it's probably already quite fucked. Honestly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't really think we can make it much worse.
I never really thought about that. Ecology isn't really a thing to worry about when the zombie apocalypse is happening.
Yeah,
is it?
I mean when the whole like the whole plane is threatened, specific ecologies kind of are significantly down the list.
Yeah,
I mean something to
Anyway.
consider, but marginally.
One thing I wanted to say, because I've been thinking about this, I wanted to apologize for earlier, Draxus. I threatened you, and honestly, I didn't really mean it when you hurt me with the fireball, but I mean...
Oh, I mean, I was secretly hoping that was the case, but I wanted to like treat it as like an actual threat just in case.
Honestly, you remind me of one of my brothers, and...
Oh, is it a bad thing?
Well...
Both?
Yeah, I mean...
I never had a brother, so I wouldn't know.
You both may not understand because you said you didn't have family, but they can really get on your nerves, It's a part of the reason why I left. There's just too many expectations. I mean, Zach, you probably get this. People, as someone who travels the plains, you always get questions about, oh, why did you decide to travel, and why, what kind of stuff have you seen? But nobody really asks who you left, and what you regret leaving.
Yes, I get that all of the time. It can be difficult to answer those sorts of questions, especially if you've just begun your travels. I've been traveling for quite a while now, so it's slightly easier for me to talk about, but talking about the people that I've left behind does still, what's the phrase that my brother used once? It does pull on the heartstrings.
Oh, so you did have a brother, or you?
As an adopted brother, but yes.
Oh, right. You said you collected them. That's fair.
Yes, I collect them. I travel with them for a little bit. We form a family bond, and then I adopt them. That's generally how it works. Never legally. No. It's just like, you're now my brother. Take my surname, or I take your surname.
I only have 3, but I can't get rid of them. They're attached, by blood.
I always find encounters I've had with my own blood has always been soured by some evil curse or greed or something, so I tend to stay away. I don't see blood as family. It's family are those that you find, or those that find you, not those who are connected to you by blood.
I think, doesn't that kind of work with your situation, Duraxis? I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that anyone like connected in blood in the traditional sense, like brothers and sisters, or even like parents. I don't really have any of them, at least that I know of, or that or part of my life. I was a slave. I escaped, left all that, and I've been. Before I came to Delver's Dream, I traveled for a number of years. It was hard because there's a lot of assumptions that people make, which I mean it's not unfair necessarily, but it is hard.
Assumptions about what?
Well, I mean who I am and the kind of person
That
I am
voice
because
come
of
from?
my because of my race and because of the reputation of my race.
I have heard that that what you're saying about drow, and I've heard that drow are not typically nice to their males, but I didn't know it was that bad, Drax. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, it's one of the things that I'm hoping to get an opportunity to change in all this craziness and this adventure, you could say. I mean, really, if we come down to it, it's Loth. She's taken a whole group of people and generations after generations and corrupted them, turned their values and their morals to hers. She's probably the most evil person, evil entity that I can think of. And I think everything would be better if she was destroyed. But that's...
I mean, I think there's a lot of people in the multiverse that would agree with you on that.
It seems in your people's case that it is the actions of the few have soured the image of the many.
Well, I think they've been captivated by their own culture. Like, it's not necessarily the nature, but the culture that has shaped them. I mean, I'm proof that we can have a choice, that we can choose to be the kind of people that we want to be. But when all you know is evil and all you know is pain and selfishness, it's not hard to follow that. There's honestly, the only reason I'm here is because there was another that felt like I did and treated me like a person and saved my life, giving theirs so I could escape. And now I live to honor their memory.
Compared to your story, mine seems selfish.
We all have our own stories. It's,
I left because my father expected too much from me and my brothers. I mean, each of us. I come from the I'm gonna butcher this. The Lysander line, which is the island of half elves from the storm sign in Eberron, but they have a saying that in their oath, and it grants them boons in air, water, currency, and something else that I don't remember. But my father had 4 sons. All of them besides me were sorcerers. And growing up like that, and I didn't really get magic until I was a little older. And I have 2 older brothers and a younger brother, and 2 of them were just so much better at leading and were so much more equipped to take over the family business than I was. I mean, Richard, he saw it as he saw leadership as a thrill. He would go out and do amazing feats, and he actually ran a group of sea merchants, and he left to go and adventure the vast oceans. While Jason, he saw it as a game. He ran a lot of different gangs and was really controlling the city like that, and I think that's what got him killed. But really, my younger brother Timothy, I've got to hand it to him. All he wanted to do was be the world's most accepted and loved leader. And from what I've seen so far, I think he will be. And all I wanted to do was research and study, and I was considered a prodigy in that, but calling a child a prodigy, that may be as hurtful as anything else. I mean, how much pressure that puts on you to do the things that you need to do, and the things that I loved doing became things that I hated. So I ran away from all of my responsibility. And sometimes I look back and I wonder if I made a mistake. But who knows, in the grand scheme of things.
Do you like who you are?
I don't even know who I am, Araxis. I mean, these past weeks, spending time, Shark Week, having fun, flirting with Dapple, I'm not sure that's who I am. Being a bookworm, being stuck indoors and studying, I don't know if that's who I am. Really, I think I'm just trying to find out who that is, or who I want to be.
It's all that we can ever ask of ourselves.
But
And just make decisions to be the person that you want to be.
I think
We could
we're
do
gonna
it
have
together. We'll find out together.
That would be fantastic, as long as we survive this whole ordeal. And I look out.
Yeah, I mean,
and I put my
assuming
hand on
that,
his
of
shoulder.
course.
I put my hand on his shoulder and I look out to the sea of zombies that are rushing into being eaten. Just like,
But I think
It's definitely sort of like the number is sort of reducing now. It looks like there's not you notice as you've been talking that like the dock has sort of been filled out. Like there's space for like 2 or 3 large ships now out
oh my
on the
God.
dock.
This
Like-
mimic's going to become a city.
Yeah.
A mimic city? Don't give him ideas.
Next world building stream.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Mimic City. Like,
Yeah. Oh God.
I'm going to place my hand on Drax's shoulder and look to both of them and go, wow, I didn't expect tonight to get as heavy as it did. That's a lot of backstory talk, as it were. I wasn't.
Seems like a good day for it.
It seems like a good day for it. Yes, it's as if it's been a week since I've met you all and we've spoken about this before. But I share in a way, I share your sentiments, Drax. I too was once a slave. I was a tribal man, as you can probably tell by the markings on my body, and I got captured and was sold to fight in arenas. I grew up learning and honing my craft as a combatant. I was eventually released from there. I don't quite understand the technicalities behind my release. It wasn't violent or anything. My master just said to me that you're free to leave, and I did. And I traveled around the world that I'm from. I met someone, little red-haired man. His name, Ajax is his name, and we traveled around together. Met a few other people, a few other friends we made, and we traveled around together and battled all kinds of crazy creatures. And as you do, we had a fight with the god of death and killed the god of death, and then our world got destroyed.
Sorry, what?
Yes,
I can't tell you how many times that's happened.
Yes, it happened. You wouldn't believe the amount of worlds that I traveled to, and there is some form of god of death, or somebody trying to ascend to a god of death that's trying to... It happens a lot in various different worlds, and anyway, so I managed to take some of my close ones to other place, and they're all safe. And while traveling from one world to another, there's a strange music when you're in the space between the different worlds, these different crystal things. You can hear this music that plays, and I just decided one day, I said farewell to my friends and my family, and my brother and my sister, both adopted, and I just began following the tune, the music of the multiverse, as it were. And the notes took me to various different places. I mean, we spoke before. I have been to Eberron before because the musical notes guided me there. But when traveling here, it was different, which is why I think I was knocked off. I appeared somewhere different. The music seemed to end, or didn't. It wasn't in harmony here. There's something wrong with the musical notes around this place. And I think that's what caused me to end up in a prison and then escape the prison and
Not
end
just
up in the
prison, a prison plane. The whole...
Yes.
I thought you said it was something to do with a sheep.
It was. I lied. Because I didn't know who you were.
That makes sense. You don't
Yes,
seem very sheepish.
I don't like sheep. That part was true.
Oh.
But
what's
I
wrong
felt
what's
that...
wrong with sheep?
Have you ever fought a sheep before?
I even needed to.
I can't say I
They're
fought
very
sheep.
mean.
They are evil. They are... I went to a world that the main enemy there, it was like the sheep were the oppressors in that world, and
Oh,
it's not fun.
It sounds awful.
They are evil. You look into their eyes, they look soulless.
Oh.
To me, anyway. They might not to other people, but to
I'll
me,
keep
that's
that
how
in
they work.
mind when I next see one.
Yes.
And as you continue to talk, you see the sort of number of zombies dwindling. And then all of a sudden you see 2 or 3 Warforged get grabbed and dissolved. And then it just stops. There's nothing else.
Oh, sorry. No more enemies? Like they were the last 2? Okay.
That you can see.
I'll rub the wall. Were you supposed to eat those Warforged? Were they threats to us?
There's
Yeah.
yes. So you have on the course of your journey, I'm sure that it would have been explained to you what Kilnasi is doing. So Kilnasi, the Lich Queen of this country, had spent 1,000 years creating a special altar. And when you place a person on the altar and you place a mechanical body on the altar will rip the soul out of the person, immediately converting them into an undead, and place that soul inside the mechanical construct.
Yes, I remember you mentioning this in our previous discussions before, Captain.
Yeah, don't you remember any of this? What the hell is wrong with you? Good God.
I'm sorry, I had a big fight not
you
that
just
long
drunk
ago.
all the time? Good God.
I don't actually drink, to be fair, unless it's milk or water.
She's having none of that.
I mean, I could be like this guy, and I just point, and just next to me is the cook who's just passed out on the floor. Anywhere I am, I just point, and he's
came
there.
Out too?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
absolutely. She's like, fine. No, yeah, we got to watch out for all of it. This whole country is being emptied of people and being turned into an army that doesn't question anything.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah, it's not great.
So the soul of the living is put into these Warforged. Do they not have minds of their own, or are they subject to the same slavery
they
as the
do,
undead?
but the thing is that they're just newly born. And if they're told very specifically what to do, they've got no reason at that point to question.
So there is a possibility that we could turn the Warforged against the Lich Queen if we were to perhaps not kill them.
I feel like that kind of control, I mean, you guys have seen it in your own cultures, you said, that they'd be fighting against their own cognitive dissonance. The control runs a little deeper than that.
That's fair enough. Well,
I mean,
we must end their suffering.
It's worth trying, but
definitely.
I mean, maybe on like a small scale, but no, I mean,
we
at least with what we have
the
now,
corruption is what we need to do.
we need to kill the Lich Queen. Is what we need to do. Cut off the head, but that's easier said than done.
Do we know where her actual location is, or do we plan on just wandering aimlessly through this place until we bump into her?
You do know where it is. It's actually further inland. So right between Jarsai, Merchantry, Verendeth, Baland, and Nanked, sort of at the center, is a huge volcano. And the capital of Nanked is built into the side of that volcano. And that's where the Lich Queen is. It is several hundred miles inland.
Oh.
I think we'll be fine. I mean, from what I've heard all of you say about your backgrounds and everything, it seems like you're all very strong. And from what I know of strength is that strength is just nothing but tolerance, just a resistance to accumulated stress. I think that if anything, we're prepared.
As you continue talking, you hear one of the pirates come running down the stairs and say, "Exactly 250, Captain." And she looks at all of you and says, well, I suppose that means there's going to be 250 Warforged out there then. We should probably get prepared for that. All right. And she wanders back in. Yeah, what do you want?
The cannons that the Mimic ship had beforehand, are they still here? Are they part of the Mimic, or are they a separate entity?
As you say that, you see, like, out of the wall, a cannon appears, and then, like, a tongue comes out of it and licks you, and then puts back in.
Ah. That gives me... I have a couple of ideas I'd like to run past you. I'm saying that to the wall. And I'm going to go try find an ear to the mimic, and I'm going to start whispering into it.
Literally any part of the mimic is its ear.
I'm going to make sure that I keep it out of earshot of Drax and Reggie, and I'm just going to start whispering into the mimic.
Yeah.
Into the wall.
What are you going to whisper?
I will DM you.
Oh, dear. Okay. I love it. So, as that's going on, this is a new thing that's happening. Secrets. I like it.
I'm going to send one to Lando then.
That's right. So absolutely. There's as you are all sort of now that things have quieted, there's no longer zombies getting absorbed. And for some reason, only a few of the Warforged were absorbed.
And
Things
sorry,
have calmed down.
just to clarify, we can't really see what's going down there. We just saw a mass of what look to be zombies. You know,
You
we're
saw
too far
them
up.
coming, but like I said, it's got 1,000-foot range. This mimic does.
For some
So you
reason,
cannot
I thought
see
that there
that
was
far.
just like a bunch of them that were crowded around. So they're
Yeah,
not
it
even
was-
really getting there yet. They're getting
No.
grabbed. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay.
So what would you all like to do now?
I guess
I think it would be good for us to rest up and prepare for battle tomorrow. What would you like to do?
Well, I think that sounds like a good idea. We have some. I mean, the purpose we came here was for some scouting and some information gathering, and I think that being on best selves is going to be helpful for that.
Yeah, I agree.
Agree.
Maybe we can search in further inland too, and maybe go around these Warforged. I'm not sure.
I mean, we could just, if they're coming here anyway, we could just take them out.
Question for the DM: what is we're on the shoreline? What is the hillside, I guess, or the beach look like? Is it kind of a hill, or is it?
So it's pretty rocky. You see that it looks like there's sort of a smallish mountain range heading to the west, and it slopes down into swamps towards the east.
Okay.
So you're on a rocky area right at the end of this mountain range. That's very craggy. And beyond it, what you see, it's difficult to see too far beyond it, but what you see is mostly sort of swamps, and along the shore, there's a lot of mangroves. And then further inland, it's, your typical sort of like Spanish moss, weird trees, estuary type environment.
All right, I'll just kind of look at it. We could prepare some. I don't know. We could try to collapse some of this rocky range on top of them if they get past it.
I think
Use that to our advantage.
We could do, yes. The mimic as well seems to be quite happy eating them.
It's building.
That's another thing.
Too.
In building, yeah.
I mean,
can you imagine the size of the ship that this lovely creature would turn into once it decides to revert back to a ship? It's going to be humongous. In a very beautiful way, stroking the ship.
It would
just in case those misconstrued.
Like Titanic, even huge.
Oh my God! You as you start saying that, you look out the window and you see like the docks and the area around suddenly start growing like trellises and these beautiful sort of like delicate arches and gateways.
It's
that
turning
look to
into a
have
city.
very, very floral patterns.
Can I look to see where the volcano is?
So it is about 400 miles away at this point. You can always sort of see like a very distant glow over the horizon. But you can
topographical map of the area, just to, you know.
Because you have never flown over Non-Ged, you do not in fact have a topographical map of the country.
Next time.
Yeah. Right now, what you know as like, and you wouldn't really know any of this because you're not from here, and neither would Zach. Diraxis would have a little bit of knowledge about like where the Demon's Bane Mountains meet the volcano, meets Verendeth, you know, the desert in the west of Jar-Sayi, and where it meets the swamps of eastern Non-Ked, things like that. Like you would understand that, and how like you're a little close to like the forests that are on the border of Duopolis right now.
Well,
So that's what you know.
All right, let's prepare for a battle.
I think it would be fun.
yeah, prepare
I'm always up
for
for a fight.
something. I mean,
Well,
Yeah,
I
you
think
never know.
one thing that we never actually discussed in the time that we've been together, the 10 or so days that we've actually traveled together, is what we actually do in a fight. Now, as you may have seen, I hit things, and I hit things hard.
it's true. Very true. We've seen that.
What
Very
do you
good at
two?
it.
What do you two prefer to do? Not what are you good at, but what do you prefer to do in a combat, other than hide in a rock as a rock?
That was like a last-ditch effort to like
Shade.
not die.
I mean,
I'll
it's a
have you know.
perfectly valid tactical thing to do. It's just, do you prefer to do anything else? Because you seem to do that most of the last fight.
Oh, okay.
Listen,
Basically,
Zach.
what I'm trying to get at is I want to enable you to be able to show your full potential.
As you're talking, the mimic makes like little palm leaves like in front of you. It's just like shade, motherfucker. Yes. What do you like to do besides turn into a rock? Diraxis. These are all good questions.
Well, I have quite an arsenal of different spells that can be used for varying effects. I tend not to do things that directly injure or hurt things. More in a roundabout kind of way, if that makes sense. I see magic as like for me, it's not so much this tactical kind of thing, and more of this instinct that just kind of flows through me. And sometimes it's kind of odd, doesn't always work. There could be some hectiveness to it. But yeah, I mean, one of the things I've done a lot is turn people into giant apes. That's quite fun. Both myself and others. Sometimes together, sometimes not. I have a spell for every occasion. As you saw with the guy last time, made the illusion of what I knew to be one of its greatest fears. Yeah, I mean, it's just whatever comes to me, really. I don't really have a plan in really any kind of sense. It's just what makes sense. I want to let the magic flow through me.
dang sorcerers.
Yeah.
That's understandable. What about you, Reggie? What do you like to do?
Well, you could say I have an arsenal of spells with varying effects, but I like to be more tactical and thought out with mine. And mine always work because I plan them out. Um,
Palm leaves. Palm leaves.
yeah, it's just I can switch my spells out for pretty much anything we need. I have studied.
Yeah,
several-
Diraxis, you are now officially. Thank God you have dark sight because you are blind from all the fucking shade that is being thrown your way.
I put on my goggles and being able to see.
Yes, but definitely can set mine up to where I can be more supportive and do more damage. If Direct is going to be more utility.
So
Yeah,
it's
I just do what we need.
I mean, that's understandable. I mean, so it sounds like, in terms of the three of us moving forward, the best thing to do would be for the two of you to stand behind me.
Yeah,
I'm-
that would be helpful actually.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
The less that they care about me, the more effective I can be.
Yeah.
As soon as they start getting a taste for beating up on me, I significantly lose effectiveness.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm fairly hardy. I can take a couple hits without dying and
I
turning into
cannot.
rock, but
I'm bird boned.
yes, if I'm not hiding behind
you are.
you or undercover behind someone else, I'll probably be invisible or something, you know.
And Zach, I would like to know which one is your special weapon? It's your sword, right?
It's the sword. My sword is called Costs Sorrow.
Costs sorrow.
Yes.
Why did you make that so difficult to say? Why are you a monster?
Because I can.
Mhm.
Because saying it costs sorrow.
Costs sorrow.
I will put it in the Twitch chat so everybody can see it.
As you are having this discussion about the two others staying behind you, you begin to feel this vibration in your back. The sword has started sort of
In your back,
shaking.
Ooh.
Everything around you just starts vibrating. Apparently, the building, the ground, your sword.
Why is the building shaking?
It's what would you like to do with it? Because it feels like it's about to like break out of its scabbard.
I grab it, and I will, because I know what this sword likes to do. I'm gonna pull it out, and as I pull it out, I sort of arc it around and throw it out the window.
Fabulous.
It likes to fly around.
Reginald, what race are you?
I am a storm half elf.
Okay. There is, and your touchstone is what?
My touchstone is the spirit made
Soul
flesh.
made, spirit made flesh. Yes. And Diraxis is the luminous geometry. You watch as it is flying around. It flies back inside the mimic, and seems to hover in front of Diraxis for a moment. And as it does, it becomes more orderly, like more perfectly designed. Everything about it seems to start conforming to the golden ratio. Tell me what it looks like now.
Me or Drax?
You. What's your
me.
sword?
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
it's
yeah.
over, right?
So the sword itself it was a very rudimentary looking sword before. Although it was like a very anime style large blade, it had like jagged like breaks in it from where it had been repeatedly used in combat, and it hadn't been repaired for a long time, and it had like wraps around the top, sort of keeping it held into the hilt and everything. All of it needed work doing to it. Now the blade itself has got these two sharp edges on either side that look pristine and shining, as if it's never seen combat. The handguard itself opens out into two long arms, and there are red rubies, or red gems, that go along the handguard up until the center of the hilt, which then extends into a red velvet handle with the pommel at the end is also a red gem. And across the blade itself, it's got in a language. What language would it be? I would say it'd probably be in Elvish or Sylvan language. It has writing go down the side of it.
What does it say?
The item says, "For my brother, found family."
And as you see it hovering and shifting in front of Diraxis, seemingly responding to their touchstone, you see a ghostly form rise out of the sword that is his exact brother and head over to Reginald and hover in front of him for a moment, responding to his touchstone. And because of that fabulous 10 subs that we got from Snowflake Boy, your item has now evolved. When you release it, once per day, when you release it, it will create a ghostly version of itself, and you will have two swords dancing about, one of them made of pure force.
Holy shit.
Basically like a spiritual weapon.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Can it cut things in the ethereal?
It can. It's made of force.
That's dope.
Yes. So yes, what would you like to do?
Well, that was fantastic. After our rest, let's show those Warforged what we've got now.
Yeah, I'm partial for a sleep, to be honest.
Oh, you want to sleep? You want to go rest?
You can see that there's.
Is that tears. A thing that we do in my campaigns now? Like
we just rest all the time. You can see there's tears coming down Zach's eyes, and he just turns his head away as he holds the sword. He's like, "Yeah, I think rest would be a really good idea. If you excuse me, I've got some onion in my. I'm gonna go to the kitchen and I'm gonna cook us some food yeah, okay, and I'll just walk off."
Yeah.
Diraxis is gonna turn to Reginald and be like, "Does he not know that it's okay to cry? Like, I cry all the time. For all different reasons."
I don't think that comparison is quite.
Okay.
Equal.
Okay, never mind that. Yeah. Well.
But I mean, listen. If you have any problems that you want to talk about, you should totally.
I mean, usually it's because I'm in excruciating pain, but I mean that's
fair.
Yeah.
You are in that a lot.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, it is the thing.
Are you okay, man?
I think so. Yeah, it's been it has in the last couple of times. I mean, between you and me, I thought there was the end there. I don't think I've ever been that close. Felt like my soul was like about to leave my body. It was. Let's not do that again. Let's just say.
Yeah, watch each other's backs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know.
I'll come heal you when you're down, and you don't hit me with a fireball. You know?
Yeah. I mean. Yeah. Scouts honor.
Perfect. All right, I'm gonna go in and rest too. Then I guess.
Yeah.
Sleep, whatever it is.
As you all head in different directions and go take your rest, you may each mark a long rest on your character sheet. The evening passes quietly. No more zombies are left, and no new Warforged appear. And we shall move to the next morning.
Perfect.
But before we do that, let's take a quick little break. We'll do a little 5-minute break so everybody
Alright.
can go grab some water, go do a little bio break, all of that good stuff. And we will see you all in just a moment.
All right.
Huzzah.
See you in a sec.
Hello
Hey,
again.
we're back.
I hope that everybody continues to be having a fabulous Tuesday. If you haven't yet, hit that exclamation point raffle so you can win some fabulous Phoenix dice, which is delightful. And let us begin with the next day. You have bedrooms on the 4th and 5th floors of this huge lighthouse. And as you come down past the 2nd floor, you hear people talking towards the center. As you move closer, you see that it is the captain with a map of Nanked laid out, pointing to things, talking. And as you walk in, you hear her say, "Listen to me. Look, intelligence so far has suggested that what they do is they send out, one group, and the group is always 500 soldiers. All right? It's 500 soldiers. It's 250 zombies and 250 of these mechanical guys. All right? So we know that there's 250 zombies that we ate. Good girl, that's a good girl. Like it when you eat our enemies. But only a couple of the Warforged. So I feel like what happened is that the Warforged are intelligent and they recognize that there is a line of demarcation. If they go past it, they will be eaten and there will be no recourse. So my guess is that there's just a line of Warforged out there about 1,000 feet away.
With the expansion of Dapple Dance, does your or her reach extend, or would it always be 1,000 feet?
She looks at you and she's like, "Oh, she told you her name. Oh,
I was
she
talking
just
to her
like
last
you."
night. Yes.
All right. There's listen, you once you get to like 1,000-foot pseudopod, things start getting a little wonky. So yeah, that's gonna be about it for her.
Do we know what sort of weaponry these Warforged may have? Will they have anything that might be able to hit Dapple Dance from 1,000 feet away?
As you ask that question, a cupboard appears in the corner and the doors swing open and it is the equipment of the Warforged. And it looks like it's all like there's some crossbows in there and things like that, and some swords, a few rapiers, things like that, but nothing that could reach that far.
No siege weaponry. Okay, so the choice that we have is, I've been speaking with Dapple Dance, and between the pair of us, we may have come up with a way for us to potentially get over the army without having to go through it. But do we want to handle these scouting Warforged first, knowing that there's going to be at least 100 of them?
Well, if we can get past them before their scouting party has a chance to report, then I feel like that would be fantastic for us.
Dapple looks at you and is just like, "Well, sure. I think what we need to know is why they were out here in the first place and why they suddenly showed up. Because as far as I know, there's no reason for them to be here. This is an empty area. There's nobody coming. All the ships are essentially on the other side of the continent, according to all intelligence. So why the hell were they here?"
Could they
Is
be
it possible
looking?
they knew we were coming?
I mean, sure, that's possible.
Would they be looking for survivors to convert?
That's interesting. Hold on just a minute. And she looks down at the map and she sees that there is a fairly sizable town not too far from this beach.
I mean, if I was them, that's what I would do.
Maybe worth investigating too.
We could bring them here. Have this be a safe place to house refugees. I don't know how
Let's take
easy
things
it
one
is
step
to
at a time.
accommodate them, but
Well, I mean, Dapple Dance will eventually become Dapple Dance City, so, you know, or Dapple Dance Village, or, you know, go from ship to village to town to city to continent to planet. You know, depends on how much Dapple Dance eats.
I do want a whole planet that's a mimic now. Now I want my mimic planet.
I come into these games to sue absolute chaos, and then I leave.
Absolutely perfect. Because we don't do chaos here. That's crazy.
Never. What do we know in way of their weaknesses? And would Relic above table? Would Relic know a little bit more about their weaknesses?
Relic?
Not Relic.
Reginald?
Reginald. Yes.
Yeah, because you're from Eberron, you can give me a history check. Let's see what you remember.
Terrible at those.
You are. It's awful, and I cry about it all the time.
Oh my god! Natural 20 for a 33.
As you
Absolutely terrible.
As you realize that you don't know anything about
just an idiot.
As you have made a very concerted study about Warforged and because they are the mix of magic and technology, and so they are a perfect thing to study for you who loves, you know, all things historical. There's you just start rattling off all kinds of things about the Warforged, and it is, you know, well, the things that you sort of let everybody know are things like they're obviously, you know, distressed by rust. If you, they can be affected by just about anything that an organic form could be affected by, but also they don't. They're strong and they're fast, so they don't have any like real weaknesses. But you know that if you can corrode them, that it will be easier to get through their defenses.
Is the metal conductive? Could I use that to my advantage?
Yeah, you absolutely could. And they are made of metal. So you know, for like spells and things like that, things with electricity are useful against them, but there's one spell that's super useful regardless, which is heat metal. Because they're made of metal.
Yeah. So yeah, the only thing that's really not useful against them at all is like poison. I mean, and anything with disease, they're not affected by. They finished telling them all about it.
Yeah. And as you keep, you're sort of winding up to do about a 2-hour-long lecture on Warforged, and Dapple's like, okay, thank you.
A whiteboard appears, and then Dapple just kind of shoves me off stage.
There's
like, stop it.
Dapple pulls out a stone and whispers into it. Head to the hissing plains and start capturing the rust monsters that live there. And then puts the stone back in your pocket.
That is a good idea. It's one of their main weaknesses.
Yeah, I mean, I could potentially develop a caustic agent that we could turn into like some kind of projectile. So I make I'll make potions and I mean it wouldn't be a potion. Okay.
Are you holding a vial right now?
He's always got one like around. I don't think he's actively holding one at when he said that. But he could very easily pull one out.
So as you were saying that, suddenly this highly corrosive acid just pours out of the ceiling and lands on your foot as as you are inside a mimic that has massively acidic intestinal juices.
It lands on my foot.
Yeah, it absolutely does. It eats through your shoe real fast.
Oh god! He's like, I don't know if prestidigitation or something would work to like clear it off, but
no, you have to like sort of pull your boot off, and now you
he pulls it off and he just like throws oh, and he mid panic just is like, oh, we have everything we need right here. I mean, ouch, but thank you, applesauce.
It's Dapple Dance.
Dapple Dan.
As you mispronounce her name twice, she spits more acid at you. Please make me a dexterity saving throw.
14.
Your other shoe is gone.
Okay. I'm sorry. It was not a time for jokes. My apologies. There was really...
you also definitely see that there's now like crown molding in all the rooms. Like, she essentially, since Zach said that she was beautiful, she's definitely started like, there's beautiful like floorboards and crown molding and like sconces on the walls and like valances on the windows.
Getting flirty, right?
Yeah.
We did make a child together. I say, patting the little one.
Don't want to think about that.
Yeah, that was a weird way to say that.
That was a very weird way to say that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I don't take it back.
It was. I mean, it's fine as long as you're just aware.
I mean, it does have your furry exterior.
It does. It's like it looks like its owner.
So how big is it? Is it still like carriage size?
Yeah.
Okay. What is your new friend's name? I feel obliged to make sure I get it right.
Apple Dance is the name of the lovely city that we are currently abode that we're currently in.
I picked up on that, and then does your
you can see Zach as the name sort of forms on the side. Like, you can see like the emerald green tattoos begin to sort of shift, and now you understand the language. And it says, while its mom is named Dapple Dance, because it danced on the waves of the ocean, its baby is Dapple Prance, as it prances on the ground. So
on the ground, horrible. Dapple Prance. And I'm going to note down that I can now speak Mimic.
You can.
Is it a spoken language, or it's like a written language?
It's a written language. They don't speak very often. But it's also, one mimic language, because every mimic has their own forms of communication.
I know Dapple Mimic.
You do. The Dapple line.
Dapple line. All right, so it looks like
they're the prettiest mimics.
They definitely are.
Looks like if we need to, we could just use the cannons and load them with acid juices, and then that would be phenomenal.
Well, thank you for the raid, Luke Mac. Welcome. please make sure to hit ! Raffle so that you can win some fabulous dice from Phoenix Dice at the end of the stream. Huzzah! You're awesome.
Well, I think it would be a good idea for us to go and explore this nearby town, as Drac, just not my mic, as Drac mentioned before. The idea that I had to get us over the army, I was talking to Dapple Dance last night, and Dapple Dance is able to form a cannon that can shoot people out of it, which I may or may not going to use to shoot myself into the army to fight them, but maybe we could use it to fire ourselves over the army. He says, looking at the sky, looking up, not making eye contact with either of them.
Several questions.
Yeah,
with that.
Yep.
You. How do you explain us landing? What's the plan for the after that?
I
gesture to both of you.
I have a spell. But...
Well, you also see Dapple Prance sort of come over and, like, as you're discussing this, sort of like rub up against you.
Oh. And don't you think that's going to draw attention a little bit? Somebody flying straight over the army?
You as you question what's going on, Dapple Prance, you see a giant tongue come out of Dapple Prance and goes,
all right. Sounds like a good plan to me.
Are you have the ability to make things invisible, do you not?
Yeah, no, it's not an issue. Question, Dapple Prance. I mean, I don't want to assume anything because it's rude, but I think the only way we really have a real fighting chance against these guys is if we can utilize the acid that destroyed 2 of my shoes. Do you by chance have a way to turn that into some kind of projectile? I mean, I hope you can, but no shame if not.
You see, as you say that, Dapple Prance comes over and what looks like it's lifting its leg and just sort of like pees on your pants, but it is actively shooting its digestive acid at you.
Ew.
So my pants are being eroded now.
Yeah, they are being corroded right this
So,
yeah.
Rax is in full-on panic because he is afraid of acid getting to his bits. Is going to hastily drop his pants and throw them, and try to illusion a pair of pants on himself so that he's not exposing himself to everybody.
Dapple
Dance. Can we have some clothes for Drax here? I think he's been spat on enough.
Yeah.
I was trying to establish. I mean,
You're really. This the Pirate Queen just says, "Oh my God, Dapple, please stop it. He's just trying to help. Okay,
yeah.
It's all right." And you see her sort of stroke the table a bit. It's fine. He's not insulting your baby.
Oh.
And you see in the same armoire that had all of the Warforged weapons, which are now sort of in a pile on the floor, as you watch, like, the shelves just sort of shifted down and threw everything onto the floor. There's now a couple of pairs of pants in there.
He's gonna take one that looks like it'll fit. Put them on. They're a little small.
It doesn't quite fit.
They like go up to they go down like his calves.
Yeah, absolutely high wadded. You're wearing some clam diggers now.
Yeah. It's like, this is kind of odd. No, I guess this is...
Yeah, little. We're gonna have to redo your character sheet with capris. Absolutely. You see Dappleprance sort of starts shifting the tattoos again, and you recognize Zach. That you realize this is a mimic, and it can change its shape to whatever it wants. And you see on the side, Dappleprance as like a glider.
Oh, yes, we could fire ourselves out of the cannon, and Dappleprance has graciously offered to morph itself into a glider so that we can glide across. If Reggie is able to turn us invisible, then we will not be seen by the army above. But I agree with Drax that we should go and investigate the nearby town to make sure that the people there are not being added to the army.
Sure. What are we waiting for? Waiting any longer, Draxus might have a whole new wardrobe.
Yeah.
Nice little crop top to go with your capris. Absolutely.
Yes, let's leave before that happens.
Yes, please. I'd like that.
Cut
so
two.
as you head up to the top, you start Duraxis. You're walking, and
I have no shoes now too.
Yeah, Reginald and Duraxis, you're both sort of climbing the stairs, and you see Zach, like the floor that they're on just starts rising, and you realize that it's just giving him an elevator up to the top.
You up there in a minute?
Yeah, well, I will see you there.
After several minutes, you guys arrive completely out of breath. As you...
That's good.
You tried to keep
cardio.
up.
I think you guys
really-
was enough.
Yeah.
I was able to
cardio.
eat my lunch by the time you got up here.
I didn't want to just
Fantastic.
waste the teleport.
Yeah, me neither. Let's go. What are you waiting for, Zach? You slowpoke. Let's do this thing.
I thought you might want to catch your breaths first, because you're going to have to keep up with my pace, and I know that you'll both.
Yeah.
Catch your breath on the way.
Okay.
Yeah, as you get up there, you see Dappleprance reconfigure themselves into this like triangular glider with these huge outstretched wings. There are 3 seats in the front, and then seems like a huge section of them that's like 15 feet long and pretty deep, that looks sort of like a tank. And you watch as like a big spout comes out of the top of the building and just fills that tank with acid.
Oh,
Then, as you enter into your new little glider named Dappleprance,
Roomy.
there's this huge, what looks like ballista appears underneath you, and Dappleprance is now being pulled back by this giant bowstring.
This is going to be fun. I would really hold on to something if I were you.
Alright, are we like... So... Just trying to think mechanically.
So the mimic is about 200 feet tall at this point.
Alright, I was talking about Dappleprance.
Yeah.
In terms of turning them invisible. Above table, would I need to turn just Dappleprance invisible, or would I have to do us all individually?
I think that roll me an Arcana check. No, wait.
Are we like inside them? Or...
Roll me an intelligence check to see like how this is really gonna play out.
Alright.
Can I do it too?
Wow, I'm
Can
gonna
I
roll.
do it too?
Go ahead,
You
go-
got all these inspirations, son. You can absolutely use
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna let's
Yeah.
still not
Keep her going.
Yeah.
Keep her going.
Yeah, and
Okay, okay.
there's-
You've got like
oh
9
my
of these things.
God, Lando, what is
There we
happening?
go.
Okay, so with a
17.
with a you just used
1,
4 of
2,
your
3.
inspirations for this. With a 17, you know that if they were looking at you, if something is looking at you from underneath and this thing is invisible, they will not see you.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, you can absolutely fly over them, no problem. All right, you can take one of your inspirations back because Snowflake gave you an advantage.
Okay.
Well, you also had an advantage from earlier, so you can take one of your inspirations back.
Cool.
Oh, I got one too.
Oh,
Look
everyone,
at that!
Snowflake
Look at all that!
coming in with all these channel points. That's right, because Snowflake is an MVP. Snowflake loves us.
He is.
And we love you, Snowflake. Now, you all feel this sort of like tick, 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 as the mechanism that the mimic has created. I'm sorry, I have to just say, your message just got blocked, Josh. I don't know why. It just says, "Thank you, Snowflake." I'm going to allow that.
No,
As
it blocked the praise you, Snowflake.
Oh
my God, that's hilarious.
That's great.
That is
Yeah,
so funny.
That is not what I was implying.
Yeah.
That's great.
That
yes,
is really,
that
really
makes
funny.
me- Okay, that's pretty hilarious. Yes, absolutely. So, you feel the tension in this bowstring, this giant bowstring. You take a breath.
I cast greater invisibility on the.
Fabulous.
Greater? Okay.
All right.
I don't
cool.
have the normal one. What's the use of that?
All right. And suddenly it releases. And you are flying at top speed across the sky. Your faces are all like
The G-force.
I'm going to need all of you to give me a Constitution saving throw to see if you can handle the G-forces.
I
That you
puke.
Gosh, dude.
Just like you know that kid
Oh my
that rides the roller coaster.
What?
Oh my
going
God.
To,
What?
I'm going to use
my
an inspiration on that.
Yeah, I think
Ah.
I would have to too.
It totally makes sense to me that you all.
I rolled a 2. I rolled a 2.
It totally makes sense to
13.
me that all of you, none of you have experienced
have-
anything like this before.
We also have bless. So.
That's,
we
that's
do
Oh, is
have
that for the
bless.
first combat? That might be combat.
It's
That's what it's
this
called.
is
Okay,
not.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is.
Never
I
mind.
mean, if you want to make this like your first
No,
combat,
no,
sure.
it's fine.
We have time for actual combat, so no. I'm just gonna take it. I don't know what you guys are worried about.
There's
I trust my
you-
DM.
I need to stay awake to keep us invisible.
Yeah, there is you. Oh, that's true. That's true. With a 13, I'm going to say that you just managed to hold on to consciousness while you are puking all over yourself.
Yeah.
Like you're like crying, tears are just streaming, snot all over your face. Just
You know in those videos where you see the people go up on those big slinky things,
Yeah.
and the person
Yeah.
goes, "Ugh."
Is
Yeah.
Zach's just like,
Ugh.
Yeah, just passed out. Yep.
just
Yeah.
passed out. He's
That
having too
just
much fun.
passes right out. There's as you are all flying over. Duraxis, you are the one that manages to stay sort of conscious of what's happening. And you see this whole group of Warforged. As you start getting an understanding of what this looks like, there is like this one stone pathway, and there's just this like swamp on the other side that seems to be mostly water. And you see the Warforged all formed up, about 250 of them, in rows that span this small road that leads up to the small stone shelf that leads towards where the mimic is. They're all formed up behind a bend in the road, so the mimic can't get at them. But as you fly over, you begin to hear screams from down below. And as you look over the side, you see that Dappleprance has opened up their bottom and is just pouring acid on all of these Warforged.
Wrecked.
Yeah, and you just watch as the entire, like, hundreds of these Warforged just at the same moment just begin melting into the ground from this. There's 250 of them.
Minus like 3, but yeah, like a lot. There's a lot.
Yeah, they figured it out real quick that if they stood in the open, the zombies didn't get it because the zombies, they're not intelligent. So they just kept trundling towards the mimic, but the Warforged all figured it out real quick. And now you've just decimated an entire platoon of Warforged with your acid spewing little baby. That's nice. As you're gliding over the top, and you see that, like, you're descending. Like, the mimic can't fly, but it has created a situation where it can glide. And you see a town appearing in front of you. You also see very easily the track that these 500 creatures took. And you see it go directly to the town, and then all the tracks sort of split up around the town, and then they leave. And as your mimic descends, you see it grow some legs and start sort of running across the ground as it lands to sort of slow its speed. And I'm going to need a dexterity saving throw from Diraxis. Did Reginald manage to stay awake?
A dexterity?
Could the landing have woken him up at all? Jostled him?
Nope, not yet.
Nope.
All right, so
sorry, dexterity.
Zach and Reginald. Yeah, so dexterity saving throw, since you're the only one who's awake.
6.
Automatically.
I'm fucking dead.
Yeah. So all three of you, as this thing just comes slamming to a halt, get thrown out. You can't quite grab anything as you just get thrown out of this baby mimic. Zach, you are woken as you feel a pseudopod grab you as you're in the air and bring you back down to your seat. And the other two, you don't take any damage, but you're definitely rolling on the ground now.
Rolling, covered in Diraxis' vomit, and just not a good day.
It's great.
Diraxis just like lands on his back and just like
I'm hanging upside down with a cloak over my face. I'm like, that was fun. Let's do that again.
Diraxis just like rolls over on his side and just pukes, and then looks up and is like, "No, let's not."
Yeah, you look a mess. Both of you look a mess. Zach looks fine. Like Zach looks a little messy, but like his hair's all windblown. But yeah, most of it you're fine. You are just on the outskirts of this town. Like there's like a couple buildings right in front of you, and you see Dappleprance turn themselves into a carriage and just sort of like hang out. You see like a little pseudopod like run out and like shoot out and grab like a rat.
Dirax
Shoot out
is
and
gonna
grab
like
like a
sit
little
up,
thing.
like rub his eyes, cast prestidigitation, and just clean up the throb over himself.
Because you're gross. Because you're
Clean all of
gross.
ourselves
Ugh.
up.
Ugh.
All right. We made it. Record time too.
Yep. I should just teleport us all. Alright.
Saved your magical energy in any way. In any way, it saved your magical energy. The Dapple Prance is best for you to stay here while we venture into the town. Unless you're able to shrink yourself down and fit into, or can you turn yourself into something that I could wear? Or do you stay the size you are? I'm not 100% sure.
As you say that, Dapple Prance sort of like flows over you, but you realize that it is so big that it literally like you're just sort of standing on top of it now.
Is it a mech? He's got a mech now?
No, it looks like a very, very pretty ball gown.
I mean,
It's about like 9 feet tall.
It's still invisible though.
I think we should probably
How
try
long
and go
does
in
that
stealthy.
last?
Oh, less like an hour. It's like forever.
It lasts a long time.
Yeah, so now it looks like the top half of, well, really just your head, because you've got very pretty, like, ruffled sleeves
Oh, never
and
mind.
all that
it's
kind
a
of
minute.
stuff.
I was
It's a
thinking
minute,
something
yeah.
different.
No,
Yeah,
so you
never
can
mind.
see. So you are just a confection of pink and yellow tulle and bows. As Dapple Prance has created a giant ball gown that you cannot move in because it's just this sort of giant pyramid of dress.
I think it'll be best just to wait here for the minute, then Dapple Prance, please. I don't want you to get hurt.
It's a good look though.
Yes, to be honest, I actually love the look.
Yeah, just maybe find a nice safe place to where we can come back if we need to get out of here real quick.
Yeah, so as you say that, she turns back into a carriage, but now there's like a bunch of like giant pink bows and stuff on the top, and she's just glorious looking.
All right, let's go in. We going in stealthy like, or just walking in?
Well,
I will follow your lead on that.
you hear nothing.
Very ominous.
Yeah, I think it might be time for a change in music.
Are we too late?
I think we might be. But it's worth investigating just to make sure.
All right,
Each of you, as you enter the town, you may each make me a perception check.
Perception.
Let's see what you see.
Wow, nothing.
Wow. There's
Rolled an
Reginald
18.
sees nothing. Does Diraxus see anything? Diraxus sees a little bit. Zach, don't forget that. So Zach definitely sees a few sort of movements, but they all seem to be these sort of fleeting motions within the buildings around them.
There's movement in the buildings ahead. I would be cautious if the tracks led in and out of this town. There could be more undead and warforged within here. Maybe a trap?
Did you say they got into the town, or they went around the town and
You
then
can
left?
you can see hundreds of footprints that it's literally like there's this, from the air you saw this huge trail, like all of the vegetation, like the grass and everything had just been trampled by this army as it came towards the town. You see all of the footprints sort of split up around the town, going into and out of houses. You can tell that they've trampled everywhere. And then they left.
Diraxus, like, probably 30 to 40 feet in front of him is going to make an illusion of a warforged, just like walking around and seeing if anything, like as they're walking through the town, ahead of them, he's going to make an illusion of a warforged.
As you do that, you see 2 or 3 dozen arrows appear as they rip through the Warforged, shattering the illusion.
Perfect.
In bad taste, don't you think, Draxus?
Yeah, well,
Right.
no.
You hear
Thanks.
from the shadows. The army couldn't find us. What makes you think you can?
We are not enemies.
See. Give me a little more than that. You've just appeared with a Warforged.
We are not enemies.
Yeah.
That was an illusion to see. We can see the tracks have come through this town. We came here to investigate and make sure that the people of this town had not been turned to the evil queen's army.
Sorry for the deception, friend. We thought there wasn't anyone left.
You hear whispers that say, "He's warm. He's warm. So hungry." You're shh, no. And you realize there are voices all around you that you can't see.
What do I see?
It's same thing. It's just, you can't see anything. You notice that it is getting very misty.
What about with the in the ethereal? I mean, what do I see in
No.
the ethereal? Absolutely nothing.
Drax is gonna look at Zach like, stay close to me if trouble happens. Tricks.
Who's going to say the exact same thing to you?
Perfect.
Right. To be fair, I'll address the voices. We weren't looking for you. We're really just on a mission to help the people in the area and maybe try and end this war going on.
You can't end the war. She is far too powerful, and we've already helped ourselves.
That begs some explanation, that last part.
We owe you nothing.
I wasn't asking you for anything, really.
You're asking for information.
Right?
We just want to know if you're all right. If you're fine and don't need assistance, we'll just leave. It's not a problem for us.
That's true.
The scouting party of Warforged and Undead has been dealt with. They won't be coming back. We just wanted to make sure the people of this town were okay.
If you do not need or require our help, or want
We
it,
can
How
move
did you
on.
kill them? How did they die?
we melted them.
Yeah, can I point to Dapple Dance? Just be like, or Dapple Prance, and just be like, that thing has got some acid that would absolutely destroy anything it touches.
But one hell of an ass.
It does. Very thick.
You see a bit of the fog suddenly form into a radiantly beautiful woman standing in front of you.
Is it?
You say you have killed them all.
We did a fair good job cleaning up, yeah?
At least the ones
That
were
means she will send more. She can sense when her subjects are destroyed. She now knows there is danger here. That's why we let them pass. As she speaks, you see swirls starting to happen in the mist as more and more and more people suddenly appear. You hear these whispers, so hungry, so hungry.
Are you all out of food? Well, what is it you like to eat? Maybe I can cook you something.
You may all make me a religion check.
Nice one.
Are you
All
kidding
right,
me with these low rolls?
Diraxis.
19.
Yeah. Diraxis, you suddenly realize that you are surrounded by what looks like an entire town of vampires. You suddenly put the mist thing together. They're very pale. What would you like to do?
We are not your enemy. We are the enemy of your enemy.
Which makes you our friends.
Yes.
Or so the saying goes.
Yeah, Zach and Reginald, neither one of you recognize that there's anything wrong with these people.
And I'm
Okay.
just going off of what Drax is saying to them at the minute. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We don't wish to fight you. If you do not require assistance, then we will leave. As I said, I can cook you some food. If you'd like to tell me what you like to eat, I will.
We
cook
need
that
no
and
food.
You can eat that. But you, okay, I'm not going to question that.
She looks at you and she says, "This war has emptied every town between here and the capital. Thousands and thousands dead, converted. Then they come back and they take us." Reginald, you see a book in her hand with the same sort of leather covering that your book has. But this
Great.
one looks like it has an eye on it.
And I'll kind of grab mine and I'll look at it and I'll compare them and I'll say, interesting. Perchance, where did you acquire such an object?
In the
I'm a little
mausoleum.
suspicious now.
Of course we found it in the mausoleum. What do you know of the book?
I have been studying it ever since I got on this world. I would think I'd know a great many things by now, but it
The
still
book.
vexes me.
This book has never left my hands.
Well, I don't mean your book, and I'll kind of hold mine up.
The tongue.
And
she now looks at you with curiosity in her eyes instead of hunger.
At that point, I'm gonna see if I can investigate the book anymore to see what I can tell from just looking at it, obviously.
When you pull the book out, the tongue begins to salivate, and you look over at her book, and the eye opens. She looks down and she's like, "It's never done that before. What is this? What is this?"
I have no idea. But it would seem that we could answer a lot of each other's questions if we just worked together, and I'll put the book back in.
So first, tell me what is in your book that makes it different than other spell books? What have you found as you have read through the book?
As I've read through the book, what made it different from other spell books is obviously the cover is a taut old leather, and on the cover of it has a tongue sewn onto it. As well, the first 100 or so pages are full of every necromantic spell, and then the rest is just blank.
Well, there's also some things in there that you have not yet been able to decipher.
Okay.
There are some formulas and some pages that seem to be written in a language that you've never seen before. She looks at you and she says, why aren't you different? Why haven't you changed yet? Have you not done the rituals?
I honestly know not of what you speak. I have been researching it, but this specific text I cannot yet cipher.
Interesting. She looks at you now. She's a little less curious. She now just sort of steps back and, what are you doing here? Truly, are you just seeking our benefit? Or do you want something else?
We have no quarrel with your kind.
Doraxis, your voice got like really deep.
Sorry, I'm sick and I'm having a hard time keeping his accent, to be honest. And my nose is clogged really badly.
The wind got to him. He seems to have developed a cold.
We have no quarrel with your kind.
We have no quarrel with your kind.
Shit, man, Doraxis is badass.
Don't you threaten me,
We're simply here to. We saw there was a town, and we were concerned that they had been taken, and we wanted to see if we could offer assistance.
You came all this way to a country being destroyed, with a ruler intent on shattering the continent just to check on us?
I mean, well, to be completely honest, I came over here to find some cool shit, but and also adventure, you know.
She needs to be stopped.
We're actually on our way to go smash her. So not in that way, but in the stab through the heart, lift up, throw into
She
a
needs to be
sort of
destroyed.
That
for not
way,
only
yes.
the good of this country, but the good of all
Absolutely.
countries.
I
We
see
saw
you are the
someone in
advance
need.
force.
We came to see if we
I've
could
told
assist.
you we are not in need.
It's
Right.
advanced force. That's vaguely offensive. We're pretty competent, lady.
You cannot defeat an entire country.
Someone has to try.
We can defeat one queen. We just need
I
to
think
get
it will
to
be
her.
interesting to see how far you get.
Well, if you have a means for us to get directly to her or close to her, that will be beneficial for both parties, would it not? You
Why
would
do
be
you
rid
think-
of her.
Why do you think that we have changed?
Changed?
Changed.
She scoffs at the two of you, looks
Okay.
over at Doraxis, and said, "We could feel your pulse increase. You recognize exactly the danger that you're in right now. Don't you, little elf?
Yes, of course. But I know that just because there's expectations of harm doesn't mean there has to be any. I mean, I myself am a drow. You think people think that I come with good intentions? I give people the benefit of the doubt until they be wrong. Even if it's dangerous.
A refreshing and rare answer. She looks to the other two, just opens her mouth, and you watch as two huge fangs begin to grow. Yes,
Fantastic.
we.
That's hot.
You die. You die on the spot. Just Zach.
He's into it. Okay?
Mommy, sorry. See,
the fangs retract, and she says, "Yes, changed. She wants the living. If we're already dead, she has no use for us."
It's quite brilliant, actually.
It is very good. So
It would be brilliant if we had a food source that wasn't being consumed to create an army over and over and over again.
Do you benefit from her defeat then?
Question: does Draxus know enough about vampires to know, like, that they have to have like humanoid blood or something like along those lines?
You would have with your role, yes. You would have.
So it has to be like sentient humanoid blood kind of deal.
Yeah. They need something that is they can survive on like animal blood and things like that. But there's not enough in like they would have to eat like 20 rabbits to make up for one person, or like 100 rats.
So it's like,
so
it's pure because there's like a spectrum of purity.
Well, it's not purity, it's quantity.
What? Okay. So it's just get above the table. So like, for example, like a cow probably has more blood than a person, but that's not as effective or something.
But so the thing is that in non-Ked, they don't raise animals.
No, for sure. I'm thinking of some like, but practically.
Yeah, they could absolutely survive. Yeah, if there was a big cow. Okay. But the thing is that they would kill the cow in like 10 or 20 days. One vampire would, having a whole town of them.
No, for sure. Okay, I was just curious if it was like the potency of human blood or something. It's just the quantity of blood. That's really all that matters. Okay.
There is, and you realize that there is an entire town now of vampires standing in front of you that are very hungry.
How much does Reginald know about vampires?
What was your religion check?
Well, that was to see if I could see what they are by looking at them, but has he read anything about them?
That doesn't change my question.
12.
That does not change my question.
It was low.
How much was you? What was it exactly? A 12? So you know their name and that they survive on blood and that they are undead. Like, that's about it. You now know, because you've seen them do it, that they can turn into mist.
I mean, I see no problem with us helping each other.
Truly. What kind of help would you ask?
A way to get closer to the Queen would be the most obvious thing.
To be fair, the mission we are on is not to engage her directly, but to gather information. We're not quite prepared. The three of us cannot take her on ourselves.
That is a good point. Sorry, the murder hobo in me came out there, and yes, we are here to gather information. Sorry, I haven't hit anything for a little while, and I'm feeling a legendary action to hit things.
Says, we could certainly be useful in that endeavor, I suppose.
What is your relationship to the Warforged, and do they just ignore you completely, or they just don't go out of their way?
They have been programmed. Each battalion gets sent out to empty entire towns. The people are not killed. They are subdued, and they are dragged back to the capital to create more. We are refugees. We are those that escaped. Everyone who attempted to save their town or hold on to their home has been converted. You know that on a map, there's only about, from here to like Duopolis, is about 1/4 of the country. And now hearing this, you realize that like 3/4 of the country has been converted. And then these people converted themselves into vampires to avoid that fate. But what that means is there's only potentially 1/4 of the country left before the Lich Queen starts her assault. And you now have an entire town of vampires that are hungry.
You know where the survivors, where there are remaining living people, places that are still to be attacked and converted. The last, what's the number term? Percentage? I'm not good with words. Percentage?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one? Okay, good.
There are very few. We know of only 2 remaining towns in the entire country. And most certainly, there are battalions being sent to them.
Oh.
Question. Forgive me for saying this, but y'all don't look so good. How long you have left before you need to?
Or we need to feed.
Just trying to be somewhat.
We have some time still. But not much.
Is there a way to reverse the Queen's effect? Can we put the souls back into the bodies? Or do the undead bodies, are they too far gone for the process to be reversed?
I've never heard of a process like that can be used, but she opens up her book and starts flipping through it. You see that in her book, she also, like the first several hundred pages are all these necromantic spells as you're watching. And then she gets to the section with different diagrams and things like that. And she continues to flip through, but you have enough time to sort of grasp that those diagrams are different than the diagrams in your book. And she keeps flipping through and she says, well, this was useful, but I'm not sure. There is this section here, and she points to it, that does not, it's incomplete.
And I'll put mine up to it, and I'll say, and I'll start taking notes and everything too of theirs.
As your book gets close to the other book, make me a Make me a dexterity. No. Make me a strength saving throw.
Are you going to become 1, or is she going to snatch it?
That's a 2.
Oh, shit.
You're really throwing me my strengths here.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have anything else that you can utilize?
I'm not going to.
May I ask,
Keep going.
May I ask, is this her reaching out to grab the book, or is this something to do with the two? Okay, fine, because I was going to use something to help that if it was her.
Yeah, no, it is. Both of you seem very surprised as suddenly the 2 books just pull out of each of your hands and slam into each other, landing on the ground in front of you as one book that now has one eye and a tongue.
I grab it as soon as I can.
It's awkward.
As you do. You feel a surge of dark energy through you. Your fingernails suddenly start turning black.
What? It's not healthy.
And the pupil of your eye seems to expand further, sort of starting to block out any color that you had in your iris. Your book has expanded.
Hell yeah.
While it still contains all of the necromantic spells. What was it that we gave you? Everything in like 1st through 5th or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Yes, we'll go with
It
that.
now includes all the 6th level necromancy spells. And above table, the new mechanic that you have is all necromancy spells that you cast are now cast with a +1. And anything that deals necrotic damage will do an extra 1d6. You don't know that yet, but just FYI as a player.
I would have studied it to, ad nauseum after this happens anyway.
Yeah.
So.
But you look into it, and she sort of stares at you and says, did not realize that it would do that. Interesting. Well, I have no need of the book any longer. I've done what needed to be done with it. And she pops it open to the diagrams that you recognize as were part of her book. And she starts pointing things out to you. She says, this is the ritual that you use to turn yourself into a vampire. It's what we've done with every refugee that has come through in order to survive. And she looks at the scrolls. She looks at the various rituals and things that you couldn't figure out. She says, oh, that's interesting. How fun. It looks like these are what you do to turn yourself into a death knight. Oh, how interesting.
Is behind. Death Note? What's one of them?
Oh, you might make a very good one, I think.
So, quick question. How many people are in this town?
She looks around, says, less than 50.
The best I can do is 7, but I'll be right back. And Daraxis is going to teleport himself to I want to say a farm. It gets 7 cows and teleport them back.
So, all right.
Cowjack?
So, first of all, because you can teleport anywhere on the plane,
Yeah.
right? Okay. The only place that you would know of that has like cows, is gonna be
I don't want to make this a long thing. It's just like a quick.
Valencia. So you could go to Valencia and go to the land of
Yeah.
milk and honey. You could go to where the ranchers are. And are you just gonna go steal a bunch of cows?
No, okay. He's gonna go up and be like, I need 7 cows really quick. I'll pay like 100 gold each. Like he's not even gonna negotiate really. He likes the tabaxi.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've always been cool.
Yeah, no, these tabaxi here, like, oh, that's amazing. There's, normally a cow goes for like 20 gold or something that.
That's fine.
Like maximum.
Yeah, I might be back. And then he hands them the 700 gold and teleports all 7 cows just in the midst of everybody.
My god! Oh my god! There is. I'm sorry, that's fabulous.
And then he's like,
you get an extra inspiration for that.
And he's like, yeah, well, when we're talking, dig in?
So before you can even say anything, these cows appear, and you just watch dozens of vampires just pile on these cows. It takes less than a minute before literally these cows are like jerky on the ground. You just watch them one after the other just like fall on the ground, completely drained of blood. And the leader of the vampires looks at you and it's just like, that was a kindness. We appreciate that.
I can't abide by starving people, regardless of who they are.
But as I said before, I think we had better brace ourselves. Kilnasi can tell when her forces are harmed. And you start to hear what sounds a little like thunder, and you realize it's the ground shaking as the vampire looks at you and says, I think Kilnasi has diverted a battalion to see exactly what happened here. Why her other battalion has been destroyed. And you recognize that this is now the sound of boots hitting the ground. You look down the road and see trees falling as zombies and warforged trample their roots and shatter their branches, unheeded and ready to destroy everyone in this town. You have less than an hour before they will be here to destroy you all utterly. And that is where we will end our session today.
Oh,
Yay!
Man.
First of all, everybody hit ! Raffle to win some fabulous Phoenix dice.
Oh.
You have just met the town of vampires that converted themselves in order
It's actually pretty fucking genius, honestly.
to escape. And I'm going to allow you to keep all of the bonuses that you got because I thought that we were going to hit the combat today, but we had some fabulous role playing earlier, so I love that. I love that we got to really get to know some of the characters. It makes me so happy. But you'll be dealing with a huge narrative combat.
Yes.
With 500 combatants next week. So bring your A game along with Bless and Heroism and all of your key points and your inspirations and your legendary actions, all of that. So keep track of that for next week. Thank you, everybody in chat, for helping us give these players what they need to maybe survive. Because as we all know, I am not a nice dungeon master. I will murder my players left and right. So you might survive, you might not, but you now have a lot of help from chat, which is fabulous. And before we draw for these dice and then head off to Carney Sideshow, who we'll be raiding into in a moment, stick around for the raid because you get all kinds of fabulous channel points that you can also use to help our characters. I'd like to hear what your favorite moments were from today. Let's shift the music to some nice favorite moments music.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, what was your favorite moment?
I mean, getting to know everybody, you know, the lore dump, that was awesome. You know, hearing about Zach's time as a gladiator and his time as a slave, and then everything else, and Diraxis and his time as a slave, and you know, hearing about him, it was just so nice.
Yeah, I loved that. That made me so happy. What about you? And chat, let me know what your favorite moments were. We love hearing from chat. We love knowing that you have enjoyed a story that we are telling. Hey, Lando, what was your favorite?
My favorite was the sauce slip inside, I think. Or at least one of them.
That was
for sure.
pretty delightful.
There was a lot of good moments, but
that was pretty awesome.
I liked that.
What about you, Josh? What was your favorite moment today?
Ball dump was a big one, but to choose a different one, it would have to be the acquisition of a mimic companion.
I mean, how can it not? I mean, that's so...
Dapple Prance with her giant pink bows now.
Yep.
Absolutely. You know, she is a girly girl. Like, she, I absolutely adored that too. I was not expecting that to happen, but it did.
And the artifact to unlock as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
because that was awesome.
That makes me I really can't wait to see what Zach does with dual swords flying around.
Right.
Sorry, really quick. Above table, are you like? Is your plan to like be like have the sword and then be like a pugilist, essentially?
Above table, Zach has the ability to punch things very, very hard.
Yeah.
So the sword's gonna fight while I'm punching things.
Yeah. No, that's
absolutely.
so dope.
Yeah.
That's so dope. I love it.
Yeah, and so chat, yes, chat said, Snowflake, favorite moment, everyone's reaction to the Hive Train, yes, and thank you for all that support, Snowflake. It really means an incredible amount to us. It's just so amazing. There's Phantoms was the baby mimic, absolutely, with their fabulous, like, now green emerald tattoos. I love that. And hey, let's pick a winner for Fabulous Phoenix Dice.
Let's do it. Right, here we go. Last chance.
All right, who's it going to be? Who's it going to be?
And the winner is Snowflake Boy.
Nice.
You deserve it. Absolutely.
VIP.
Snowflake, shoot me a thing in Discord and I will get you all set up.
That is fate, that is.
Poetic.
It absolutely is. Perfect. I love it. There is. And I want to thank everybody again for all of their support. Thank you so much, Pixie. Thank you so much, Snowflake Boy. Thank you so much, Lando. Thank you so much, Mike. Like, it's amazing. Absolutely. And remember, let's tell over at Carney Sideshow what we are bringing to the potluck. I am going to be bringing a a flying mimic full of acid to the potluck. What are you gonna bring?
Wallet sauce.
Wallet sauce. Absolutely, you are. That is important. That is very important.
Spicy undead soup.
That's right. That's right. That is important. I love it. And what about you, Josh? What are you gonna bring?
Lots and lots and lots of differently cooked chicken.
Many chicken.
Perfect. Phantom's
Many
gonna bring
chickens.
some conga rats. Snowflake's gonna bring all the baby mimics. I love it. Kev, you're just in time for the raid, though. So welcome. We're gonna head over to Carney Sideshow, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hey.